Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie. I'm known around most social media platforms as Honestly Mommy, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about postpartum compresses, also kind of known around, the internet as Padsicles. So today's video is going to be pretty short and informal. As you can see, it's a little crazy around here. I just had a baby a couple weeks ago. So I've shared in my Instagram stories a few times that my midwife makes me an all-natural postpartum compress made from Comfrey Root. It's actually something she does here generally after the mama has had her baby. She gives you a little bit of time for like skin to skin and bonding, and she goes downstairs and creates a tea from shepherd's purse and then these awesome postpartum cold packs that are made from Comfrey Root. And so I've shared about that in my Instagram stories a few times. I've gotten lots of questions. What does she use? How does she do it? So this time, while in labor, my husband and midwife actually filmed these videos for me. I was upstairs laboring while they were filming, and they just did a short tutorial on what she's doing, what she uses. These are super simple, but let me just say they blow Padsicles out of the water. Like, this is not your mama's Padsicles that you stick in the freezer. So these are made from Comfrey Root, which is a super healing herb. You can research it, tons of great information on Comfrey Root. And then the tea that she makes me, it's just one mug of tea from a herb called shepherd's purse, and that actually has a bunch of vitamin K in it, which if you know anything about birth, labor and delivery, that's a really good thing. Helps with clotting, blood, all that good stuff. So anyhow, quick video. It's going to be pretty short. I tried to write some steps in there because they didn't necessarily say, do this, but I'll also have the steps written out below and links to the Comfrey Root and the shepherd's purse, which I get off a specific website. So hopefully this video will give you a good idea of how we make these compresses. I was surprised actually at how simple and quick it was. So if you are about to have a baby, don't do Padsicles, make these instead. Thank me later.
Sure. So these are a 4x4 gauze sterile pad. What is called pads, I guess would be. And I'm opening them up so that when I strain the herbs, I will put them inside of here and create a compress that will go into a ziplock bag and then be frozen. And those sterile those pads, I should say, will be used postpartum for the perineum. And the herbs that are in there are Comfrey Root and golden seal. And Comfrey Root is used for bruised and traumatized tissues. And golden seal is a natural antiseptic. So they're soothing as well as beneficial for healing in the postpartum stage. I'm basically straining the tea out of here first. And so you bring the water to a boil, and once the water's boiled, then you pour the Comfrey Root in there, turn the flame off, and let it steep. You cover it and let it steep in the pan until it's swollen like this. Get a spoon here. Push that out of here. There we go. And then I can just leave the tea in there for now. It's hot. I will eventually put the tea in here, which will be used for a peri wash, which will go in these bottles later, also for the postpartum stage. I don't really actually have a science on it as far as quantity, but I kind of just try to make them a little bit more of a rectangular shape, or roughly, I mean, so.
And why do you aim for a rectangular shape?
It's because of the area for the perineum, so it fits nicer when you apply them, basically. So it's more comfortable for the postpartum mom. And like I say, these are hot now, but once we put them in the freezer, they'll be frozen and they'll be done in plenty of time for the postpartum stage. And most moms say that they really appreciate having them. They're a little bit cool at first when you apply them, but then they kind of adjust, and definitely brings any swelling that happens, or I should say that may happen. Not everybody gets swelling, but sometimes they do. Sometimes there's bruising, obviously. There's trauma of birth. It's just part of the journey. But it definitely is a natural healing method. And actually, I've had some women that ended up not really using all of them. I usually make about a dozen. And some of them have not really felt like they needed them because they really ended up with no tearing or not a lot of bruising and not a lot of swelling. So they are like, what do I do with this? This bruised, traumatized tissue. Is their husband fell and hurt his arm, kind of sprained it, his wrist, and so she ended up using those pads on his wrist, and he said that it was very soothing and that the bruising and all that and the swelling went down really fast. So people have used them for not just the postpartum, they've used them for other bruised areas, so that can be something that people can keep in mind too. And the other tea that I have is a shepherd's purse tea, and that is also for postpartum. That is actually to make a cup of tea to drink. So this is all external use, including the tea that's in here is external. It's a peri wash, so that's used by the moms postpartum. They use that for a rinse after they use the restroom. They use the peri tea rinse. Again, it's for healing, natural antiseptic, that kind of thing too. So, but the shepherd's purse tea is high in vitamin K, which is good because babies are low in vitamin K at birth. It doesn't peak until day 8 for the babies. So it's a way that the babies can get vitamin K through mama, through the colostrum and then the milk as it comes in, and then this is also for mama as well.
Okay, so now that you've seen the process, here's just a quick look at what it looks like when it's all done being frozen. It's just a little square. I would highly recommend that you let this sit out for maybe 5-ish minutes because if you try to take it fresh out of the freezer and put it downstairs, it's cold. It burns a little, it burns. So I usually let mine sit out for a couple of minutes until they've thawed just a little bit, kind of until that like frost layer is off, and then I find they're much more manageable to put downstairs. My midwife recommends trying to use up all 12 of them within she's playing with the pots and pans on here. Try to use up all 12 within the first 24 hours. So basically, as soon as you use one, it sits, it goes warm and goes to mush. You throw it in the trash and get another one. So just keep going and going. They help with swelling, they help with healing. They're absolutely amazing, and they feel really good. So try to use these up as quickly as you can. Because you're using these in the first 24 hours, that's typically when your bleeding is heaviest. So at that stage, I'm still usually wearing diapers. I don't know about you, but it's awesome. So these can just slip right in there, and then they stay closer to your body, so they're not, falling all over or anything. And the gauze pads keep all of the loose leaf tea inside there, so it's not messy or anything.
always like the taste of. Some women really like it. It's a real earthy flavor, and some don't. It just depends on your taste. I always put honey in it though. That usually helps for the ones that don't like the earthy flavor. Gives them a little more, but some of them just rave about this tea, so yeah. Well, that's all set for postpartum then.
Hopefully this video answered all of your questions. Again, I have the steps written out below, so if you need to see it a little bit better or know what's going on, check out below. There will also be links to the products. I hope that you'll give these a try, maybe make yourself some Padsicles too, but if you're looking for some extra healing properties, or if you're a natural mama like me and you love all things holistic and natural, seriously, check these out. I've had them for 3 of my 4 postpartum periods, and I find them absolutely amazing. Also, if you missed my labor and delivery video, I linked that below. This home birth was definitely one for the books. She gave me a run for my money. And I also linked my postpartum tips and advice, that video below too. I share everything that I used postpartum, all of the products, some tips, stuff like that. I shot it when I was 4 days postpartum. So I was literally walking through the steps as I was sharing them with you. So if you're interested in that all, those are linked below. Don't forget to subscribe, so hopefully you can follow along with our crazy family and journey. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry for the sound effects.